Hey, it's Vicky, and I am so excited for this video because I'm going to be talking about the books that I'm going to be reading in October. And you guys know that Halloween, spooky things, fall things, that is so my vibe. It's my favorite. Halloween is my favorite holiday. And I have some books on my TBR for October that I have been purposefully holding on to read during this month. So yeah, I'm really excited. Let's dive in. So the first book that I'm going to be reading in October is actually a carryover from September that I just didn't quite finish. So I'm going to be reading Fairy Tale by Stephen King. This is an anticipated release for me. I am just starting it today. And so today is the 27th of September. So yeah, I have a lot to go. It's a 600-page book. There's no way I'm going to finish it in the next 3 days. So it's going to be carrying over into October, but I'm really excited for this one because it is a fantasy story, which I don't normally read, as you guys know, but because it's Stephen King, I feel like it's accessible. I can do it. His style of fantasy is a style that I can do, and it deals with a young boy who I think he somehow gets his hands on a set of keys or something that allows him to go to other worlds. So I'm excited. I think it's going to be great. The next one I want to read in October is one I have been holding on to for a couple of reasons. First, because I wanted to save it for this time of year because there's actually an adaptation coming out in October on Netflix for this book. And I want to read it closer to when the adaptation starts so that it's fresh in my mind. Also, I've read this book before. I read it as a kid, so it has the nostalgia. And I remember really enjoying it. I want to read it again. So those two things are why I want to read it now, but it is The Midnight Club by Christopher Pike. And this is about a group of kids who are in a hospice center. So they are all dying from one disease or another. And they get together. There's a group of them that get together like in the middle of the night, and they tell spooky stories to each other. And that's all I remember about it. I don't remember the rest. I remember really enjoying it though, and I'm really excited about the adaptation. I think it's going to be really good. So this will probably be, once I finish Fairy Tale, one of the first books I read, because I think the adaptation starts like in the beginning of October. So I need to get this read, but I'm super excited. Another book I have on my October TBR that I have been purposely holding on to until now is a short story collection that I got, I want to say I got it for Christmas or something. I can't remember. But I was like, I totally have to save this for spooky time. And that is Black Magic Women, Terrifying Tales by Scary Sisters. This is a short story collection that is edited by Sumiko Salson, and it is a collection of, I think, 16, if I remember right, 16 short stories that are horror, all written by Black women. So I love horror stories that are in the short story genre or whatever. I really do love horror collections. And so this one is just, I feel like it's going to be right up my alley. I plan to read like one a day until it's completed. And I hope it's spooky. I hope it's scary. I hope I love it. Another one that I've been holding on to for a while because it just gives me the vibes, the spooky vibes. And this is one that I'm really excited to try this author because I have seen this author's books everywhere, and there are a ton of them, just a ton of them. Like, it's overwhelming how many are out there. And that I haven't read any of them. I'm like, ugh. So I'm really excited to try her out, and that is The Haunting of Gillespie House by Darcy Coates. And I don't really know anything about this except it has to do with a woman who, I don't know if she inherits the house or she somehow ends up staying at this creepy old house that's haunted. And you know, I love haunted house stories. They are my favorite. Though haunted house and possession stories are my favorite. So I'm so excited to dive into this one. And I've heard good things about her that, you know, people really do like her stuff. So I hope I like her because if I do, I have a whole bunch of other books of hers to read. The next one I have is another one that I when I initially bought it, I really wanted it to read for this time of year because it's about witches. It's called Wicked Girls, a novel of the Salem witch trials by Stephanie Hemphill. And what's cool about this one is it's told in verse, which is, you know, I read books that are told in verse, but not very often. So it makes it kind of unique. And yeah, it's about witches. So what a better time of year to read about witches than Halloween time, and the fall time. So I'm really excited to check this one out. Like I said, I've had it on my shelves for a while, so it's time to get it read. And then the last book I'm putting on my October TBR is one for the Buzzword Reading Challenge, and this month it is to read a book with a creature or animal in the title. So I'm gonna be reading Bluebird, Bluebird by Attica Locke, and this is, I don't know if this is like a suspense book, a mystery book, a thriller. I'm not really sure what it's classified as, but it's about a Texas Ranger who comes back to his hometown, I believe. And it's like not like good vibes. He left and like never wanted to come back, but he comes back to work a case where it's two murders that are somehow related. And I guess like that's the whole plot. He's trying to figure out what they have to do with each other and why, and obviously to solve like who killed them. The two seemingly related murders are a black lawyer from Chicago and a local white woman. So yeah, I've heard really good things about this book, and I guess there's a sequel to this, I think. So yeah, if this one turns out to be really good, then I will probably pick up the sequel. But yeah, this one should be a good one. All right, guys, so those are my reading plans for October. I am so excited for Halloween. Let me know down below if you have your October TBR planned out. What are some of the books you are planning to read that are spooky? If you do that sort of thing, I want to know. And yeah, that's it. I hope you guys have a wonderful month, and I will talk with you soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.